Hi, welcome to the Money Morning podcast. Today I've got a really interesting chat. I'm talking to Orni Daniel of Gefen Technologies Limited. Now, Gefen Technologies is a soon-to-be listed company on the ASX. They are particularly focused on automating certain aspects of the insurance and financial services industry. It's a fascinating chat because AI and automation really need to get involved in these areas because of an increasingly big compliance and regulatory burden. So I think you'll really enjoy this chat. Have a listen. Orni, I was hoping you could tell us a bit more about Gefen, a sort of a broad overview of your operations and the specific ways you generate revenue. That would be really interesting, I think.
Yes, of course. So Gefen is a digital platform marketplace for regulation-heavy industries, insurance, finance, and the like, where carriers, enterprises use agents to sell complex products to customers, where the human advice, expertise, and touch are required. A little bit about our operations. So we have recorded a little bit more than 16.4 million revenues in 2020, quadrupled from 2019, with 81% gross margins in 2020 and 90% gross margins in H2 2020. We have today 31 contracted carriers, enterprises, with a potential pool of 300,000 agents. Our customers include global leaders, tier one enterprises like Generali, Manulife, TAL, among others. So we generate revenues from the carriers. The payment methods are recurring subscriptions and transactional fees. We offer the platform to carriers and brands as a white label solution to distribute their content, business strategy, services, and projects under their own brand. The fees are split into annual fees and a recurring monthly fee. We also generate a share of commissions generated from independent agent networks, completing transactions through our digital arena. So today, as said, we are focused on the highly regulated and compliance-focused insurance and financial services sectors, which have estimated total addressable market of more than $350 billion and anticipated of more than $460 billion in 2021.
Wow. Well, compliance is a very important issue that some people forget how big it is for these companies in the highly regulated industries. I was hoping you could tell us a bit more about how the technology works, as well as how it integrates with these businesses.
Yes, absolutely. So you're right. Compliance is a big issue for heavy regulated industries. So the company's digital distribution platform, developed and owned by us, is built on 4 pillars, which include parent-child architecture, enterprise-grade infrastructure, automation, and intelligence augmentation. It means it allows the carriers to distribute in one click and automatically business methodology, content, marketing, and products, all compliant, controlled, and monitored to their agent networks and through their agents to their respective customers. It also allows the agents and advisors benefit from technology and automation and work digitally without the need to be educated to better serve the customers the way they expect. So the Gefen platform integrates to all social networks, communication channels, and all company systems to be able to provide a seamless and fully automated working experience where everything goes to the right digital channel according to the customer's expectation and preference.
Okay, well, my next question after that is this one. Given these sort of compliance dynamics that you mentioned before in these highly regulated industries, do you think there's potentially a trust issue with, let's say, human agents? I believe I saw some numbers in your prospectus which sort of outlined the way people interact with insurance brokers and financial services. Do you think there's a trust gap there, and how does your technology address that?
Yeah, so I believe that in the last 10 years, there is a shift towards digital. And this is where the customers are and what they expect. For some industries, the shift takes longer due to the complexity, legacy systems, regulation, etc. Now, the pandemic have accelerated the shift. It has accelerated the mind shift about its importance. And I would even carefully say it has created a sense of urgency if you're relying your sales and communication with customers on face-to-face activities. And suddenly, with the lockdowns, the social distancing, and the reality, it proved that life continued. The show must go on, but differently, digitally. And there is definitely a trust issue in these industries with the carriers, with agents, and this is why we are focused first on specific industries. So carriers and agents can see peers from the same industry use our platform and what values and benefits it generates for them. I can share a little story about TAL, the largest life insurer in Australia. So they were looking for a solution for digital transformation. And they've heard about what we were doing for another large multinational corporate. And they reached out to us, and this is how the relationship with them began. An important element for us to that issue of the trust is about being a public company now. It helps with building the trust when everything is public and transparent.
Well, I'm sure you're aware in Australia there were a number of high-profile trust issues that broke down between financial services and clients. It caused immense strain on and burden on these companies, and compliance is incredibly important. We do quite a bit of it in our business. So I was just wondering, you're starting with the insurance and the financial services. Do you see your platform expanding to other industries? And I guess, could you tell us a bit more about where you think Gefen will be in 2 to 3 years? I know that's a big question, but I ask it of all our guests, and I'd be really interested to hear what you say.
Yes, absolutely. So I see Gefen operating in several geographies, connecting hundreds of thousands of agents working remotely, digitally, automatically, serving better the customers. I see that happening already in insurance and finance, but also, like you asked, in electronics, real estate, healthcare, pharma, automotive. They all suffer from the same problem, seeking a solution that will help them in the digital transformation, building trust with customers, and in a controlled and monitor and compliant way. And I believe we can serve well all those industries.
Well, that's pretty exciting, Orni. I guess my last question is I'm going to ask one last final question because I'm that interested in this. Trust is becoming an essential part of any digital network. We've seen the rise of blockchain, things like that. Do you see Gefen sort of eventually, how do I put this, expanding beyond just sort of insurance broking and financial services, and what do you see your technology developing into? I know you've got a marketplace, but is this to eliminate middlemen or to complement them? How do you see it all working out with regards to the ongoing development of your technology?
Yeah, so I think it's a very good question. I believe in today's world, it's all about trust and it's all about creating and forming relationship. So we see the agents, the corporates, the corporates are providing the services and products, and the agents are not only delivering them to the customers and trying to sell them, but initiating and forming relationship with customers. We see ourselves as the marketplace and technology. I believe everyone can enjoy and benefit from a technology when it's provided as commodity. You don't need to learn a new system. And we see ourselves as such that helping the agents forming relationship, long-term relationship with the customers, with better through data, personalization, and working and communicating in the preferred digital channels of the customers.
And I think transparency is a really big part of that as well. So I'm very excited to see how your company does. I know you use machine learning. Is this something that you develop sort of natively, or is that something you found elsewhere in the marketplace? I'm just curious because I'm quite into the AI sphere, and I'm sort of curious how you develop that.
Yeah, so we develop, everything is proprietary. We develop everything. Obviously, if there are things that we can take out of the box, engines that we could integrate and then build on them, that is something that we do. As I said, we truly believe that technology should not be felt. It should feel complementary. It should help you, empower you, and you would just see it as natural fit. Something that you have, I don't know how I was handling without that. So this is, we're working very hard to simplify it and to make it really invisible, in that sense.
It's such a complex world out there, especially in the industries you're working in. So I'm very interested to see how this goes because, insurance and financial services have to adapt quite quickly, in my view. or else they'll be in increasing danger of regulatory pressure. So if you can help with that, I think it's sort of a win-win for the consumer and also the actual businesses that provide the services.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a win-win. This is our goal.
Awesome, Orni. I'm very conscious of your time. I'm sure you're a very busy man. I'm just going to say thank you one more time for spending a bit of time with me. And finally, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Stay safe.
See you, Orni. Bye. Well, there's a great chat I had with Orni Daniel of Gefen Technologies. It covered a lot of ground, but maybe one of the key takeaway points is this: AI and automation will play an increasingly large role in financial services and insurance. And they have ambitions to expand to other industries. So it'll definitely be an exciting company to watch. If you like today's podcast, be sure to listen, subscribe, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you, and you'll hear from us soon.